Good day, everyone. I am Emmanuel Borres, and I'm going to discuss how urbanization will look like in the future. For most of human history, most people across the world live in small communities. Over the past centuries, and particularly in recent decades, this has shifted dramatically. There has been a mass migration of populations from rural to urban areas. More than 4 billion people, more than half of the world, live in urban areas. The past 50 years in particular have seen a rapid increase in rates of urbanization across the world. By 2050, close to 7 billion people are projected to live in urban areas. As of 2018, we see that there is around 7.6 billion people in the world. 4.2 billion lives in urban area and 3.4 billion in rural areas. By 2050, global population is projected to increase to around 9.8 billion. It's estimated that more than twice as many people in the world will be living in urban, 6.7 billion, than in rural settings, which is 3.1 billion. Change is happening in cities big and small, urban and suburban, and it reaches beyond the recent expansions of mixed-use developments in formerly monolithic areas like office parks and shopping centers. It involves fundamental shifts based on strategic or philosophical principles on how and why we develop. Three strategies stand out as key trends in urban development: innovation districts, blue zones, and eco districts. The first one we will discuss about innovation districts. As designers, we often speak about the benefit of accidental collisions between people in a workplace. That is the core principle behind an urban regeneration strategy called innovation districts. Massive mixed-use developments with a variety of housing types to encourage a diverse population mix, combined with walkable mixed-use employment and retail areas. Innovation districts are characterized by two or more anchor locations, such as universities, hospitals, and research centers. Distributed throughout, innovation districts are also offices, retail, dining, and open green spaces, with a specific focus on a variety of transportation options, often favoring mass transit over cars. Think of it as a massive regional shopping mall, but for ideas and creativity. Innovation districts encourage the distribution of people and ideas throughout the district. They include widespread and robust broadband Wi-Fi service so that people can continue to work and exchange ideas outside of traditional workspaces, promoting collaboration. Innovation districts also promote complete streets, walkability, diverse housing, and a vibrant urban atmosphere. Another unique approach to urban development promotes healthy living and longevity through a variety of design practices. Known as blue zones, these areas were born out of a concept derived from a National Geographic article that identified 5 areas across the globe where people live longer. The article's lead author, Dan Butner, found that these communities have lower incidence of cancer and heart disease, fewer cases of dementia and Alzheimer's disease, a higher percentage of the population in their 90s and hundreds, and were generally happier. Using these findings, he outlined 6 principles to maximize health and longevity. First, we have engage in moderate and regular physical activity. Have a life purpose with meaningful activity throughout life. Reduce stress. Have a moderate caloric intake consisting of a plant-based diet, which is semi-vegetarianism. Alcohol may be consumed, but in moderation. Engage in family life, social life, and spirituality or religion. The principles of blue zones can be applied to urban design and can inform everything from adaptive reuse to ground-up new developments, including walkable environments to reduce the need for cars, increased vertical density and mixed-use diversity to encourage walking, a mixed use of housing options to encourage a multi-generational population, a mix of development types beyond residential and office spaces, local gathering places, parks, and plazas, locally owned farm-to-table restaurants, community gardens and rooftop gardens, and a variety of community events and programs on an ongoing basis. Blue zone principles represent good planning and can be incorporated into urban designs with little effort, especially in new greenfield developments. Cities with existing zoning, ordinances, and development regulations may be interested in revisiting those guidelines to see how they can incorporate blue zone principles into their own communities. Lastly, we have eco districts. As designers, elected officials, and developers are increasingly focused incorporating sustainability practices into design, eco-districts are starting to become a priority for urban development. Eco-districts fuse sustainable development principles with urban planning to reduce the ecological footprint of a development, especially a large-scale application of LID or low-impact development to reduce a development's carbon footprint and environmental impact. Eco-districts incorporate many of the same principles of the Living Building Challenge on a larger scale of a neighborhood or district, including multimodality, supports lifestyles that promote pedestrian, bicycle, and transit use, water conservation, harvests rainwater, stormwater, and condensate for reuse, alternative energy, uses solar, turbine, or other natural resources to generate energy, health, promotes health and encourages walking and resource sharing, building materials, avoids the use of hazardous materials, daylight equity, design workspaces within 30 feet of large, operatable windows. Aesthetics. Architecture must be beautiful, innovative, contextually sensitive, and create a sense of neighborhood, identity, and ownership. Today, walkability and access to green spaces are top selling points. Buyers want neighborhoods that offer new architecture, land uses, and technology. Areas that create intelligent density conducive to walking and biking, and that are less costly and more sustainable. Innovation districts, blue zones, and eco districts provide these characteristics and more. They offer neighborhoods that are interesting, safe, affordable for diverse income groups, and healthy. And cities that cannot offer these amenities find themselves on the losing end of new corporate relocations and expansions. This is more than an urban design or development issue. It also involves changing development policy at the local level. Many suburbs had traditionally prohibited dense or mixed-use developments except for a few select areas. But local zoning and development regulations can be amended to account for development that promotes innovation districts, blue zones, and eco districts. Implementing these urban development strategies can significantly reduce traffic, which is certainly less expensive than constantly widening local streets or building new highways. It can also result in a more efficient design approach, a more creative environment, and a healthier population. Consumer and employee expectations are changing, and there is an increased desire for more diverse and walkable environments today. Coupled with maintaining a desirable quality of life is the attraction and retention of businesses and residents. It is an ever-increasing competitive market, and cities and suburbs that cannot or do not adapt run the risk of being left behind. That would be all for my presentation. I hope you have a good day and stay safe. Thank you.